B2B marketing has increasingly relied on social media platforms to create and build customer relationships in today's digital world. Social media, when leveraged correctly, can be a powerful tool for B2B marketers to increase engagement, build relationships, and drive leads. With the right social framework in place, B2B marketers can create an effective and engaging presence on social media networks, utilizing features such as sponsored posts, influencer marketing, and content sharing to reach and engage with their target audiences. A social framework is a conceptual model that describes a network of relationships between actors, such as customers and marketers, and their interactions. The focus of a social framework is to help companies identify and understand social interactions and how they affect the company's bottom line. Understanding the social framework can help marketers prioritize and create strategies to reach their target audiences and increase engagement. Implementing a social framework can be considered an analytical approach to understanding the social interactions between your brand and your customer base. Marketers must understand the framework in which their customers interact with their brand. This allows marketers to create more effective and engaging content for their audience. A social framework is a way for marketers to identify and understand the social interactions between their company and their target audience. This framework can help B2B marketers prioritize and create strategies to reach their target audiences and increase engagement. There are several benefits to leveraging a social framework in B2B marketing. Improved brand awareness. More people will become aware of your brand and the products/services you offer if you are socially active. You will gain new customers interested in your brand with the right outreach strategies. Improved brand perception. People who view your posts, engage with your content, and follow your brand will form an opinion about your brand based on their interactions with your social media channels. This will ultimately have a positive impact on your brand perception. Improved lead generation. With the proper social framework in place, you will be able to generate more leads and receive more inbound inquiries from customers interested in your products/services. 2. Include 1. Improved customer service. A social framework will allow you to track customer service experiences and respond accordingly easily. Customers who engage with your brand through social media channels can easily contact you with questions and concerns. 2. Improved social engagement. With the right social framework, you can easily reach and engage with your target audience. 3. Improved social media ROI. A social framework will allow you to understand your customers better and how they interact with your brand. This will enable you to create more effective social media posts that will receive more engagement and attention. A social framework is a part of the social media marketing process, which brings us to the chain of social framework delivery. The flow of the chain is depicted in the diagram below. First, the marketers at the company will create content for their various social media channels. Next, the content is posted and published to the channels, where it will be viewed, liked, and commented on by customers and other interested parties. The engagement that occurs on the post is tracked and measured, which allows the marketers to assess which posts receive the most attention. Finally, the data is used to create more effective posts that will receive more engagement. One of the first steps to creating a social framework is establishing a visual representation of the collective groups in your social framework diagram. The groups you include in your diagram depend on the business type and customers you are trying to reach. Broadly, however, there are 5 groups that marketers should consider having in their diagram. 1. Customer, the people you are trying to reach and engage with your social media content. 2. Brand, the company behind the marketing efforts and the products/services it sells/provides. 3. Distributor, the middlemen who sell your products/services. 4. Influencer, someone with a significant social media presence and a following. 5. Competitor, the brand/businesses also trying to sell their products/services to your target group. Once you have established a visual representation of the collective groups in your social framework diagram, you can create a social network map. To create this map, you will need to identify which groups exist in your framework diagram and what the relationships are between them. Next, you will need to create a social network map that includes your different groups and the relationships between them. You can create a social network map in any digital drawing software or create a diagram using Microsoft Excel. A social network map will help you better understand the relationships between your groups and provide an easy reference to refer back to as you create social media posts and other marketing content. It can also help you identify who you should reach out to and engage with when creating your social media strategy. A social framework comprises different types of relationships between your groups. When creating your framework, you need to be aware of 3 types of relationships. These are positive relationships, negative relationships, and neutral relationships. 1. Positive relationships exist between members of your groups and are considered healthy and beneficial for all parties involved. 2. Negative relationships harm one or more parties and could be holding your company back from achieving its full potential. 3. Neutral relationships are beneficial for either party and not considered harmful. An influencer has a significant social media presence and following. Companies often partner with influencers to create sponsored posts shared on the influencer's social media channels. This is a great strategy for B2B marketers to increase engagement and extend their reach to their target audience, since someone will share the posts with a large social media following. You can partner with influencers who have a large following in your niche market and who also use your product/service. This way, you will be able to reach your target audience and engage with them while strengthening your relationships with the influencers. You can reach out to potential influencers and pitch an idea for a sponsored post. You can let the influencers know what you would like the post to include and what message you would like to send. This will help you to create more effective posts that will reach your target audience and receive more engagement. After establishing a visual representation of the collective groups in your social framework diagram, you can build a causal chain to understand the relationships between your groups better. A causal chain is a visual representation of a series of events that occur between your groups. To establish your causal chain, you must identify the events between your groups and sequence them logically. You can use an event diagram to create your causal chain diagram. Once you have established your causal chain, you can use it to identify which groups are most influential and important to your company. You can also use the causal chain to identify which groups you should engage with the most and which groups might need more attention. You can also use the causal chain to identify the best times to encounter each group based on their interests and preferences. Once you have established your causal chain between the groups in your social framework diagram, you can use it to develop a social framework. A social framework is a conceptual model that describes a network of relationships between actors, such as customers and marketers, and their interactions. Applying the causal chain diagram to your social framework diagram will help you identify the different groups in your social framework and their relationships. This will give you a better understanding of your social framework and how it impacts your company's bottom line. Once you have developed a social framework diagram, you can use it better to understand the relationships between your groups and better track and analyze your company's social actions. You can also use it as a guide for creating new social groups as your company grows and changes. A social framework diagram can be a very helpful business tool. Learn more at Business901.com.